Windows 10 has upgraded to Windows 11. So how is the experience different for us as screen reader users? Okay, welcome to another lesson on the Blind Accessibility Tips YouTube channel. Please remember that you can check out our lessons teaching blind and visually impaired persons how to use their Windows computers on our website at blindaccessibilitytips.com. All right, with that being said, we are now looking at Windows 11. Our lessons are based on the Windows 10 operating system. How is it different now in Windows 11? There are a few differences, but we can still navigate it quite easily, no major challenges. Of course, with this lesson, we are using the free screen reader NVDA. So let's now look at some differences. Firstly, starting with our desktop window. All right, so in Windows 10, on our desktop window, we know that we can use the tab key to get around to the varying sections of the window, right? Still the same thing in Windows 11, although you may hear varying different things that you never heard before in Windows 10. So we're going to try it now. I'm going to press Windows D to place my focus on the desktop list.
Folder view list. Recycle bin not selected 1 of 22.
All right, so now let us now use the tab key to get around the other sections of the desktop window. Pressing tab.
Pane tracking.
That's also that this pane thing is not something you would have heard in Windows 10. Anyway, pressing tab again.
Widgets 88 degrees Fahrenheit. Mostly
Widgets, tab again.
Start toggle button not pressed.
Start button, which is what we're used to from Windows 10. Let's tab again.
Search toggle button not pressed.
Search toggle button, yes. All right, tabbing once more.
Search Easter button. Task view toggle button not pressed 1 desktop. Chat toggle button not pressed. Microsoft Edge button Microsoft Edge pin. Show hidden icons button. Folder view list. Recycle bin not selected 1 of 22.
Folder view list. So now we're back to the folder view list or desktop list, one in the same. So you realize that the tab key will take you around the different sections. The sections that we're used to hearing that we focus on, at least on blind accessibility tips, on the desktop window are the desktop list, which is where we're now focused, also called the folder view list if you're to use NVDA. Other sections, if you're to tab around, that we usually talk about are the start button. We just heard it as well. The other sections, the running applications toolbar area. We didn't actually hear that name announced a while ago, but yes, it is there. We're going to see what it now says in Windows 11.
If the information here has been useful to you in any way, please consider leaving a like on the video and sharing it with someone else.
Another section we talk about is the notifications area. Again, it does not say notifications here in Windows 11, but the section is there. We'll now look at how to get to those sections and how they are now announced in Windows 11. So we already established that we can tab around the window to get to the different sections. But note, sometimes it's not so easy to tab around. For some reason, I find that tabbing around, sometimes it goes nowhere and it just stops for some reason. Not sure why. But of course, our shortcut keys, our Windows shortcut keys will always take us to varying sections of the same desktop window. So if you do find that you're tabbing around and you're not sure what's happening, use your shortcut keys. For instance, we know Windows D will take us to the desktop list, which is what I had used before. Right, I am now going to use Windows T to get to the running applications toolbar area. At least that is how it would have been announced in the Windows 10. So pressing Windows T.
Microsoft Edge button Microsoft Edge pin.
And it says Microsoft Edge pinned. This is the running applications toolbar area that we're used to from Windows 10. It doesn't announce the name. What it announces here in Windows 11 is the first pinned icon. Of course, we know this area to be an area that you can firstly, if you are to left or right arrow through it, you'll find that you'll be able to hear some pinned icons. For instance, Microsoft Edge, as it just announced, all it does in Windows 11 is announce the first pinned item. So Microsoft Edge is usually pinned. This Microsoft Store is usually pinned, or the File Explorer is usually pinned. And In addition to pinned items or pinned applications, in this section, you would also find apps that you currently have running or open on your machine. So if, for instance, in the background, you have Microsoft Word open, if you are to continue to left arrow or right arrow through this same section, you would eventually hear, Microsoft Word because it is open. So in Windows 11, it does not announce running applications toolbar area. However, all it does is announce the first pinned item, which in this case was Microsoft Edge. So we know we are there. So we can right arrow through just as before. Let me press right arrow to hear the second pinned item.
File Explorer button, File Explorer pin.
File Explorer, again, a regular one to be pinned. Right arrow again.
Microsoft Store button, Microsoft Store pin.
Microsoft Store pinned. That's the third one. And there are others. If we were to continue to the right, we would hear other pinned items and also open items. Just to say, if you want a proper lesson on how to manage this desktop window, please go and check out our lesson on our website, as well as the lesson here on our YouTube channel on that same topic. I will drop both links in the description. Yes, so the running applications toolbar area, just to recap, does appear in Windows 11, but NVDA will not announce it as such. It's the only thing NVDA will let you know is the first pinned item. So once you hear, for instance, Microsoft Edge pinned, which Microsoft Edge usually is the first one pinned, unless you change it, because of course you can change it. Once you hear that, you know that you're in the section you want. And once you get to the section, of course, you can use your arrow keys, left or right arrow keys, to navigate within that section. Another important section we need to look at is the notifications area. Yes, you can tab around the window to get to the notifications area, but today I'm going to use my shortcut keys. Windows B, B as in boy, to get there. Pressing Windows B.
Show hidden icons button.
And it says show hidden icons. So again, when you get to this is the notifications area that we're used to from Windows 10. It doesn't announce it as such, but once you hear show hidden icons, it means you are in the notifications area, and that's all you need to know. And of course, as usual, you can left and right arrow through the section.
Privacy apps.
Right again.
Network iPhone.
That's the network.
Volume speakers. Real tech.
Speaker volume.
Power battery status.
And the power battery and so on, the level of your battery. Fine. So again, all you have to do is left or right arrow through this section. I want to point out something though. In Windows 10, it was easy enough to increase or decrease your speaker volume. All you would do is get to this notifications area, left or right arrow to find your speaker volume button, enter on it, up arrow to increase, down arrow to decrease the volume, and then press enter. And that would be it to change the volume on your speakers. In Windows 11 though, it's a little different. So let me just ensure I point this out. So I'm gonna left arrow to find back that speaker volume button.
Volume speakers, real tech, R, audio 100% button.
All right, now I'm going to press enter on it.
Quick settings window, quick settings grouping, Wi-Fi toggle.
All right, so you realize instead of going straight to the speaker volume control, it brings up the actual quick settings. The quick settings has several other settings that you can modify and change as you wish. And so we're going to learn how to navigate this now, because if you don't understand, you might not be able to find where you can change your speaker volume in this section. So I'm going to tab through. It said Wi-Fi just now. Gonna tab.
Manage Wi-Fi connections button.
Then it says manage Wi-Fi connections. Let's tab again.
Brightness slider 100, 102.
Then this is a brightness slider. You can increase or decrease the brightness of your screen by left or right arrow. Let's tab again.
Battery 74% button.
Gives you your battery level. Tab again.
Edit quick settings button.
Edit quick settings. Tab.
All settings button.
Tab again.
Wi-Fi toggle button.
And we're back to Wi-Fi. You realize we did not hear speaker volume at all, even though we had pressed enter on speaker volume. All right. What I noticed that you have to do is tab to brightness. So I'm going to tab.
Manage Wi-Fi connections button.
Tab again.
Brightness slider 100, 102.
Okay, this brightness slider. When I get to this section, press your down arrow.
Mute button 2 of 2.
And it says mute button. All right. Now, if you were to tab, you will hear the sound volume.
Sound output slider 100.
Sound output slider 100. So this is where it is. You can press left arrow to decrease.
99, 98, 97, 94.
Realize it's going down in volume. I'm going to press back my right arrow to increase it back right up to 100.
95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
And I'm good with the 100, so I'm just going to escape out of the section now.
Taskbar.
And we return to our taskbar. So it's a little different when it comes to getting into that speaker volume, a little bit more maneuvering. Remember, Windows B will take you directly to the notifications area. In Windows 11, it doesn't say notifications, it just says show hidden icons. Then you would have to left or right arrow to find speaker volume. Enter on it. It will actually open the quick settings listing. Tab through it until you hear brightness. When you hear brightness, press your down arrow and you should hear mute button. Then when you hear mute, tabbing through again will make you hear sound output. Upon hearing sound output, you can use your left arrow to decrease sound or or your right arrow to increase the sound level. And when you're done, just escape. You'll be fine. So the other thing we want to point out that's different in Windows 11 is File Explorer. Let's take a look. Of course, we know that shortcut key to open File Explorer is Windows E as in egg, or E for Explorer.
Home. Pane. Home tab selected 1 of 1.
And the first thing we notice is that it does not announce File Explorer. It says Home, right? But it's one and the same. It is still your File Explorer window. And there are some differences, but the basic way of navigating, you can still do it the same way. So we know that we would go to our tree view to find different folders or drives. I'm going to press Shift Tab.
Tree view. Home expanded 1 of 16 level 1.
And it says Home expanded. Still, if you're to down arrow through this tree view, you will hear the folders that you're used to hearing. Let's down arrow.
Level 2 downloads.
Downloads.
Not checked 1 of 9.
Okay, down again.
Documents. Hint. Not checked 2 of 9.
Documents.
Desktop. Hint. Pictures.
Music,
Hint.
and
Videos.
of course videos. So you still hear those folders, and if you want to access any of them at all, of course you would enter on it. Let's see.
Music.
Hint.
Videos.
Let me
Not checked
enter
6
on
of 9, level
videos.
2. Level 1 videos collapsed 17 of 17.
And now that I have entered on videos from the tree view, we know that we have to then tab over to the items view list to actually hear the contents of the videos folder. So I'm going to press tab.
Items view list. Captures not selected row 1 column 1 1 of 1.
And it says 1 of 1. So it says items view list first, announcing this section that we have now come to, and then it proceeds to tell us the name of the item that happens to be here. It's only one item here in the videos folder. So pretty simple, same rotation like in Windows 10 to access your files from folders that you already have on your machine. What is very different is the menu. In Windows 10, the menu here inside File Explorer was there were ribbons. You had an upper ribbon and a lower ribbon, so it was called the menu ribbons. Here it no longer has the ribbons. In fact, they now call it the app bar. And it's much simpler to use, very much simpler to use and much easier to navigate. So let's just take a look at it. You access the main menu in the same way, or the app bar same way, using the Alt key. Pressing Alt.
New button collapsed 1 of 9.
And it says new button. You can just right arrow to any of the other items in the app bar and then enter on any one of them to find other options underneath each. So this one is new. Let me right arrow.
Sort button collapsed 8 of 9.
Sort.
View button collapsed 9
View.
of 9. More options button.
More options.
Details button show or hide the details pane.
Details. All right, that seems to be it.
More options button.
All right.
View button collapsed sort button collapsed 8 of 9.
New.
New button collapsed 1 of 9.
All right, this one says new button collapsed. The fact that it says collapsed is it's an indication that there are other items hidden, right? So let's enter on it to see what are the options underneath new.
Folder 1 of 16.
And the first option underneath new is folder. So if you wanted a new folder, you would enter on this option. It's a list, so I'm going to go down to hear the other options underneath new.
Shortcut 2 of 16.
You could create a new shortcut. Down arrow.
Microsoft Access Database 3 of 16.
Microsoft Access Database, and so on. There are several others underneath this. So I'm just going to escape to get out of this new menu or app bar.
New button collapsed 1 of 9.
Escape again.
Items view list. Captures not selected 1 of 1.
And I'm back on where I was outside of the main menu. So main menu, it is accessed in the same way, pressing the Alt key. However, it is not the ribbons that it used to be in Windows 10. This is now a simple app bar. You press Alt, you right arrow to any one of those options. You hear new, sort, if you continue over any one of them. And for instance, if you wanted to use new, which is the first one, as soon as you press Alt, new is the first one. You can enter on it to hear the other options underneath, down arrow to hear others, and then any one of those options you wish to use, you press enter. Pretty simple. Okay, good. So we have just conquered the major differences we see when it comes to using NVDA to navigate Windows 11 as opposed to Windows 10 that we were used to. No major differences. We just have to get used to the new platform, and it's actually not too bad. So thanks for joining us. Please remember that lessons showing you how to use the File Explorer window as well as the desktop window, I will put links to them, both video links and the website page links I will put into the description below. You can check them out.
Well, did you notice any other differences in navigating Windows 11? Let us know in the comments. We can learn together.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe.